Hey everyone, I'm Mr. Era, and lately I've been trying out a bunch of headphones that are closed back and come in either at $100 or under $100. These around my neck are the Audiotechnica ATH-M40x's. They're a pretty popular headphone and they come in right at $100. And I was able to pick up this set for $75 refurbished on Amazon. So for that price, let's kind of go through what you get with these headphones and how they might stack up against some of the other headphones that I've been testing out, and you can see the full list of those in the description down below. So first of all, let's talk about what you get with the M40Xs. You get the headphones, of course. You get two cables that are both 10 feet long. One is a coiled cable, which is the one that I prefer. The other is a straight cable, which I actually didn't even use. You also get kind of a nice little pleather carrying case if you're into that sort of thing. Personally, I never use them because I'm pretty much a headphone user just at my desk at home, at least with headphones like this. That being said, I would say that these are a fairly portable headphone. They do kind of fold up nicely, and you can see how they would fit inside of that bag. Another thing that I like about these headphones is they do have a detachable cable. Kind of has this little twist locking mechanism on it, which seems like it should be fairly secure. The issue here being that this is a very proprietary cable design, so you're going to have to get cables that are specifically designed for this headphone if you'd like to replace it with one of the ones that besides what it comes with. You can see how the cups swivel on these, so they can lay flat. Whoops, if I get it kind of oriented correctly here. They can lay flat, and this means that if somebody wants to talk to you or something like that, or if you just need to hear things around you, you can pop them around down and around your neck like this fairly comfortably. I would say that the build quality of the M40X is pretty good. They are definitely a very plasticky build, not a lot of metal to be found here. But that being said, it's a pretty high quality plastic, and they do feel fairly rugged as far as build quality goes. Inside the headband there, you'll see the bit of metal that's in there and the little notches for adjustment, and I didn't have any problem with the function of this headphone. One thing that I should mention about the cables is it does terminate in a typical 3.5 millimeter and has these one of these pretty common screw-on 1/4 inch adapters for it. The other material that I'd like to note on this headphone as far as build quality goes is the pleather that's used on the headband and on the ear pads. I wouldn't call it a very high quality leather. And the ear pads, if I have one major complaint about this headphone, it would be the pads here. They are fairly stiff, and as opposed to being over-ear headphones, really this is more of an on-ear pad. So when I put these on, my ear touches the inside of the ear pads, and I'm just not a fan of systems like that. I would much prefer over the ear headphones as opposed to on ears. Now that being said, you can swap the pads out on these headphones, and a lot of people do. So a lot of people use the Brainwavz angled pads that I can link those down below. I did get some of those to try with these, and I did not like the way they sounded on this headphone, but it did improve the comfort on them. I also tried the pleather pads that came off of the Monoprice HR headphone series, and those fit on here just fine too. And again, I thought it made them more comfortable, but at the same time I felt like it degraded the sound quality a little bit, or it altered it in a way that I didn't appreciate. So while listening to them, I stuck with the stock pads, even though I did find them to be a bit stiff and uncomfortable. Now these headphones do have a pretty decent amount of clamp as well, and that combined with the stiff on-ear pads, I just don't find them very comfortable at all. Matter of fact, when compared to any of the other headphones, any of the other closed-back headphones that I've tried lately, I would say these are the least comfortable out of any of them. One nice thing to note about the Audio-Technica headphones, though, is they are a fairly lightweight headphone, and I did wear them for a pretty long period of time, a couple of hours at a time, and to be honest, even though I don't find them that comfortable, I didn't really get too bad of pressure points or anywhere on my head. So for some people, the comfort might not be an issue. I just think there are much more comfortable headphones out there in the price range. One other thing that I will say about these stock pads is even though they are over ear, they do create a really nice seal, at least for me they did. So they do seal real well and they isolate very well from things around you. So if you're looking to block out sounds around you, this does do a fairly decent job of that. Now let's jump into the sound quality of the Audiotechnica ATH-M40Xs. And I have kind of mixed feelings about the sound coming out of this headphone. The bass response is pretty... What do I want to say about it? The bass response on this headphone is, there's definitely a lot of quantity to that. The quality, I'd say, kind of varies. There is some good detail and texture and extension to it. At the same time, I felt like it could sound a little bit loose and bloated on some tracks that I was listening to. But if you like bass, this may be a headphone for you. Personally, I felt like it was a bit much on a lot of the stuff that I listened to, but I did find that it paired well with hip-hop and electronic music. So if that's your thing, these might be for you. Personally, I felt like the bass, there was such a large quantity of it that it actually kind of took away from the other frequency levels. I felt like it kind of overshadowed those. And while I do really like the highs on this headphone, I think that's probably about my favorite thing about the M40X is I feel like it does have some pretty good high frequencies available, and I felt like it was pretty well extended and pretty detailed. I about said sharp, but that's definitely not the word for it. It's more clear and precise is how I would put it. I never felt like there was an instance where I was listening to the M40Xs where the highs sounded like too shrill or too sharp. I always thought they were about right, and I feel like if the bass was taken down just a notch, then those highs would really shine through, and it really makes this headphone sound pretty nice. And So bass, there's a good amount of quantity to it. It's detail and texture-wise okay. The highs, I think, are just about right level-wise, and I think they're nice and clear and precise. The mids, though, with that big bass quantity, I felt like the mids could feel just a little bit thin, especially vocals. And for me, someone who listens to a lot of like acoustic folk music, where they're, very vocal-centric songs, I felt like these fell a little bit flat in that regard. I didn't feel like they gave the proper emphasis on the vocals in that genre of music. So if you're an acoustic folk listener, I really don't think these are the headphones to pick. However, if you like hip-hop and electronic music, they could be for you. Another area where I thought that this headphone does a pretty good job is instrument separation. I felt like because, like I said, those nice precise highs, I felt like imaging was really good on this headphone, pretty precise. It doesn't have the hugest soundstage in the world, but you definitely do get a sense of space when you're wearing them. So in that regard, for a closed back headphone, I think they perform pretty admirably. I did try using these for gaming a little bit, not a ton, but I played a few rounds of Call of Duty Warzone with them, and I felt like they did an adequate job for the gaming purposes. I felt like they did an okay job of positioning enemies, gunshots and footsteps and things like that. It wouldn't be my go-to for a closed back gaming headset, but if you're going to do some light gaming with them, I think you'll be just fine. When it comes to power requirements of the M40X, they do not, I wouldn't say that they required a headphone amplifier. I was able to drive them to perfectly good listening levels off of my phone, and I thought they still sounded pretty good and retained, their overall sound signature. Of course, you're probably, when you add an amp, you're going to get things like better soundstage and probably a little bit better definition when it comes to a lot of the frequencies, but perfectly usable with a mobile phone, I would say. If you want the actual specs, they are 35 ohms and have a sensitivity level of 98 decibels. So to sum up, the Audiotechnica ATH-M40Xs, who are they for? If you're a folk music fan and that's a lot of what you listen to, I don't think these are probably for you. However, if you listen to a lot of hip hop or electronic music and you really like your bass, I think this could be a good headphone choice for you. For me, I don't often listen to those genres of music, so it's going to be a pass for me, and I'm going to go ahead and sell it and send it on down the road. And you know, just when I think about the comfort of this headphone, the price of it, and its lack of performance when it comes to vocals, for me, these really kind of fall at the bottom of my list for the headphones that I've tried on my list down there that you can find in the description. So these are not for me. That being said, they are a fairly well-built headphone, and like I said, the bass response and treble response is pretty admirable, I do feel. So for the right person, they may be a great headphone choice. I am going to go ahead and play the sound demo for you that I recorded with some binaural mics. So if you don't have headphones in right now, go ahead and put those in. And I'm going to compare these headphones. I'm going to play a sample of these, and then I'm going to play a sample of the Status Audio CB1s, which are another closed back that I've been trying out. And whereas I feel like these have better bass response and probably better imaging and a wider soundstage, these I feel like sounded a little bit more natural to me, and I just like the overall signature better. So this one I bought for like $75, this one I bought for I think $65. And so I think comparatively, it's a decent comparison for you to hear some differences between what you could get for a couple of different closed back headphones. So I'm going to go ahead and play those sound demos for you, and I will get out of your way. If you appreciated this review or thought it helped you out, please consider giving me a thumbs up. If you're interested in hearing some more thoughts on some more closed back headphones or just headphones in general in the future, feel free to subscribe to the channel, and I'll definitely have some more content coming for you in that regard. I appreciate you sticking with me, and we'll see you next time.
Don't feel alone in this world. The best is yet to come. Why focus on those bad times? This daylight is precious. See yourself as number one. Hold on to hope and never let him go. Your star is shining bright. There's something you should know. We rise and we fall. Don't feel alone in this world. The best is yet to come. Why focus on those bad times? This daylight is precious. See yourself as number one. Hold on to hope and never let him go. Your star is shining bright. There's something you should know. We rise and we fall. Don't feel alone in this world. The best is yet to come. Why focus on those bad times? This daylight is precious. See yourself as number one. Hold on to hope and never let him go. Your star is shining bright. There's something you should know. We rise and we fall. I know I try to make her mine, but at the same time, I know love is hard to find. To make her mine, but at the same time, I know love is hard to find. time. I know love is hard to find.
She started hating, I've been waking up too early. I miss our crazy hazes in the middle of the night. Watch the stars from different places, and the phases we call love won't ever start to change. But do you ever wake up feeling like everything is strange? We should buy a one-way ticket and board onto a plane and fly it straight into a black hole somewhere. Time, you and I, hours, minutes, days and nights, trading all of our deadlines for conversations over wine. Killing time, you and I, in this moment we're alive, infatuated with your eyes and the way they look at mine when we're killing time. Time, you and I, hours, minutes, days and nights, trading all of our deadlines for conversations over wine. Killing time, you and I, in this moment we're alive, infatuated with your eyes and the way they look at mine when we're killing time. Time, you and I, hours, minutes, days and nights, trading all of our deadlines for conversations over wine. Killing time, you and I, in this moment we're alive, infatuated with your eyes and the way they look at mine when we're killing time. gon' trip. I'm like a cup of shroom tea in the morning. Coat your throat like hot honey. You gon' need water, then want some more of me. In your head, you gon' slip. I love on you, and then I leave you lonely. You want to get to know me. I'll agree in exchange for your soul, please, baby. Take a sip, you gon' trip. I'm like a cup of shroom tea in the morning. Coat your throat like hot honey. You gon' need water, then want some more of me. In your head, you gon' slip. I love on you, and then I leave you lonely. You want to get to know me. I'll agree in exchange for your soul, please, baby. Take a sip, you gon' trip. I'm like a cup of shroom tea in the morning. Coat your throat like hot honey.